Why crazy?
Pretty audience.
In 2008, among persons with substance dependence or abuse, the proportion with dependence on or abuse of illicit drugs also is associated with age. 60.6% of youths aged 12 to 17 were dependent on or abused drugs. The sources that I used for my speech and my PowerPoint were inspirationsyouth.com, addictedtosuccess.com, goodreads.com, and worldometers.info. My name is Amanda Hall, and I'm going to tell you about 3 values that I have gained that have helped me to define who I am. Although these values were gained during challenging times, they have been very influential on my life. They are: I learn from others' mistakes, I do not let what other people think define who I am, and I am accepting of others and not judgmental. After watching my brother run away from home, get kicked out of school, and have his relationship with our parents be a constant argument, I knew that was not the life I wanted to lead. When I was about 8 years old, my brother started to experiment with drugs as well as alcohol, and it influenced his life very negatively. He was in and out of multiple rehab programs and has been to jail twice and is currently there serving time now because of issues related to drugs. When I was young, I saw all that Richard went through and what our family went through, and I knew that this was not the life I wanted to live. I first decided I needed to stay out of trouble. I stayed out of trouble at school as well as with my family. I knew that the consequences weren't going to be worth it. And because I did this, I succeeded in my schoolwork, which has even been beneficial to me today. As well as gaining that, the relationship with my family thrived. I was very honest with my family. I never did anything that I felt like I had to hide from them. And with this honesty, I gained a lot of freedom. And this is one of the values that I am very thankful for, because my family is a very big part of my life. Following these rules sometimes left me not following the so-called crowd. Even some of my friends questioned me why I wouldn't even like to tell my family white lies, but I never wanted to lie to the people who I knew who cared most for me. Whenever I was in middle school, I would notice that whenever my brother would come over to the house with his friends, he would be acting different than he normally would with just our family. I didn't know why you would have to act differently around someone you considered your friend. I knew that I didn't want to have to act differently around people that I wanted to know me for who I truly was. And because of this, I gained many genuine friendships because I could be truly who I was. One quote that pertains to this that I like is, because one believes in oneself, one doesn't try to convince others. Because one is content with oneself, one doesn't need other approval. Because one accepts oneself, the whole world accepts him or her, by Lao Tzu. And I really like this because I feel like if you're very accepting of yourself, that allows you to be very accepting of others too. Another thing that I've learned even to this day is that the people you surround yourself with influence you. Not in a way that they are able to define who you are, but there are going to be effects on you. I've experienced this firsthand with little things like starting to repeat things that I've heard my friends say, may it be a word or a saying. And I know that I want to be a positive influence to others, and I hope to surround myself with positive people as well. Another quote that I found that was very straightforward about this was, you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with, and I find this to be very true. And that was said by Jim Rohn. A friend is someone who gives you total freedom to be yourself, and especially to feel or not to feel. Whatever you happen to be feeling at any moment is fine with them. That's what a real love amounts to, letting the person be what he really is. And this kind of reiterates what I just talked about, getting to be who you really are and forming genuine relationships with people for who they really are. And that quote was said by Jim Morrison. This value is one of my most influential values on my life and was very difficult to, I'm okay. I'm accepting of others and I'm not judgmental. I like to think about, whenever I think about this, is when you go to the store and you meet someone, maybe they're at the cash register and they're not very nice to you, and you immediately think, oh, well, that person's not very nice. And I like to think you don't know what their morning was like, and you don't know everything that's happened in their life that has brought them up to the point they are today. And people who I just meet as strangers, maybe I didn't have a good morning and I maybe said something I wish I wouldn't have said. I wouldn't want them to take that as defining exactly who I am. And a quote that's often said is, don't judge a book by its cover. And I feel like that can kind of relate to that situation. Before my brother went to prison, I had never really thought about the people who were in prison. I just kind of brushed it off as people who had done something bad and were maybe kind of scary. And after he went there, it gave me a different perspective, because I knew that I'm not saying that there aren't bad people in prison, but there are some good people who have made bad decisions that have put them there. And I've known my brother my entire life, and I know the genuine person that he is, and I would never let what he did to define who he really is. And there are about 7 billion people in the world. We live in a very diverse world with a lot of different cultures, and I feel like acceptance is very crucial. In order to be able to form relationships with others, you need to be able to accept others who are different from you. Every single person is unique. I'm a business major, and I know that this puts me in position to be working with people from all over the world, and I know that I need to be very accepting of their cultures and their lives, and that this could be beneficial to you in your everyday life as well. My experiences with my brother have impacted all aspects of my life. Although they were and are very many challenging times, I would not give up all the values and relationships I have gained. In closing, I learned from others' mistakes. I do not let what other people think define who I am, and I am accepting of others and not judgmental. All these values have a very similar basis, but I just live each day trying to be me and accept others as who they are growing to be. Thank you.